Why did you cut off your children? When my husband and I had our son, we were beyond excited. We had spent months preparing for him, carefully choosing his name, decorating his nursery, and reading every parenting book we could find. We were ready to give him the best life possible, full of love, security, and every opportunity we never had. It felt like we were doing everything right for the first few years. He was a bright, happy child who loved to explore and ask questions. We doted on him, encouraged his curiosity, and did our best to raise him with kindness and patience. We never expected that, despite everything we gave him, he would grow into someone we no longer recognized. The first signs were easy to dismiss. He would lie about little things, even when there was no reason to. He enjoyed breaking his toys, not out of frustration but simply to watch them shatter. When another child cried, he would laugh. We told ourselves he would grow out of it, that kids go through phases, and that with the right guidance, he would learn empathy. But he never did. As he got older, his behavior escalated. He stole money from our wallets and from his sister's piggy bank. He picked fights at school and seemed to enjoy watching others suffer. The calls from teachers became constant, each one telling us another story of his cruelty and his complete disregard for how his actions affected others. We tried everything we could think of. Therapy, grounding, taking away privileges, giving him more attention, giving him space. Nothing worked. The night everything changed. My husband and I were asleep when we heard a loud crash downstairs. We ran to our daughter's room and found her huddled in the corner, shaking and crying. Our son stood over her, gripping the broken remains of a lamp in his hands. The room was a disaster. Furniture was overturned, her bedspread was ripped, and one of her favorite stuffed animals lay torn apart on the floor. They did not see what he had become. And they did not see the terror in our daughter's eyes that night. There are some things that cannot be fixed and some lines that cannot be uncrossed. My husband's voice was sharp and demanding as he asked what was going on. Our son barely reacted. He just stood there, watching us, completely unbothered. Our daughter's voice was barely more than a whisper when she said, "He told me he was going to kill me." I felt something inside me snap. I moved without thinking, grabbing my son's arm and pulling him away from her. My hands were shaking, but he only sighed, rolling his eyes like we were overreacting. My husband did not hesitate. He pulled out his phone and called the police. Even then, our son did not fight back. He did not beg or cry. He did not look scared or even angry. He just stood there as if he was waiting for us to finish whatever little performance we thought we were putting on. When my husband told the dispatcher our address, our son smirked and said, "You're seriously calling the cops on your own kid?" That was the last night he spent in our home. People still ask why we cut him off. Friends, family, even strangers who hear our story. They always have the same judgmental tone when they say, "But he's your son. How could you just abandon him?" They do not understand. They were not there.